Next, we'd like to talk about the quality of your RTOSs. Richard, could you elaborate a little bit about the quality of the code?
Sure. I'd love to. Obviously, it's something that, again, Jean and I both take great pride in the quality of the software that we provide. Again, even though it's open source, it's developed to a very strict coding standard. And as I mentioned earlier, there is a safety critical version, although it's not the same now. It grew out of the same product. It's been re-engineered, but as far as the quality goes, I mean, it does prove the quality of the product. One thing I didn't mention earlier is on the show floor yesterday, we were actually launching an RX version of that. The product is called FreeRTOS, and it comes with a whole load of certification documentation for both medical European standards and American standards. Any safety, rail, nuclear, all these sort of things. I mean, quality is one of our key attributes that we like to promote. So, yeah.
Yeah, I would probably say the same thing for our product as well. I mean, MicroCOS 2 has been certified for DO 178B Level A, which is the most stringent certification from the FAA point of view. So we're flown in highly safety critical applications. In fact, like I mentioned before, MicroCOS 2 has been used on the Mars rover. And in fact, we got a statement from NASA and JPL. They basically said they did not change one single line of code to make it actually in the Mars rover. They changed the BSP portion of it, but they did not change any of the kernel itself. So that really speaks highly of it. We also have FDA certification, or at least pre-market approval for FDA, and of course the industrial safety bodies. So very robust, very. When you say quality, to us quality doesn't only mean it works. It's also, like Richard says, the quality of our code is impeccable. We're extremely meticulous about following the coding standard. Everything is lined up. Everything is commented. We separate all our functions by comments. It's just beautiful code to put your eyeballs on.
This is another reason, of course, to have the source code. If you're giving people source code, you're laying yourself bare, especially when so many thousands of people are downloading it and looking at it.
Yep.
And we have to concentrate on quality for that reason, if nothing else.
Yeah, we have different views of what quality means.
People will never agree.
On the coding style.
On the coding style that Jean has is completely different to mine. Jean will obviously claim that his is superior. I'm obviously going to claim mine's superior, but at the end of the day, it's purely the end user. It's a subjective thing. You can't please all the people all the time. But coming back to the certification, people really shouldn't underestimate the amount of effort and time and expense that goes into that. The documentation that's provided, the lengthy certification that you have to go to with official government bodies and that sort of thing. So again, when people look at those products and think they can do that themselves, well, sure they can, but it's going to cost them 10 times and probably 10 times the cost and 4 times the time to do it. So these are very high quality products. They're safety certified things.
Yeah, to give you an example, just to certify MicroCOS 2 is like 6,000 pages of documentation. They have to run every single function, every single if statement, every single switch statement. They got to verify that in all boundary conditions, whether A greater than B, and we got to check for A less than B, A equal to B, A greater than B. All the tests, they have to be verified 100%, and it's gone through 100% code coverage. And in fact, they also verify the comments, making sure that when you're putting a comment in the code, you're actually commenting the proper thing. So that's also an important thing. But 6,000 pages of documentation, it's a phenomenal amount of work. It's millions of dollars.
You don't want to be doing that yourself when you can buy it. I mean, again, the code coverage in the FreeRTOS product, we use MCDC, which I'm sure Jean will be familiar with, but anyone outside of the aerospace industry won't necessarily know what it means. But it is the highest level of code coverage that you can possibly provide. Every single route through the code, when you have multiple decisions in a condition, you have to have every single combination of everything and show that there's nothing being generated which is doing nothing. It's not doing anything which it's not documented as doing even if it's completely benign, you just can't have that sort of thing in your code, and the effort is intense.
Yeah, and in fact, we don't have any if A greater than B and C greater than D. We don't have any of that. Everything is one statement. So very, very easy to get sort of easier.
Because it complicates things.
Of course, it complicates because now you got 4 cases, and now you have 8 cases, and if you have multiple,
it's exponential.
It's phenomenal. But they have to test. Everything is tested. Everything is tested.
So a lot of it is writing it to be testable.
Right.
That's what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly. And make a point, when they actually did the certification for the FAA, they only had to change 20 lines of code out of the 10,000 lines. So we had to, we got the feedback from the FAA folks that were doing the certification. They gave us feedback and said, if you change those 20 lines, we're good to go to get certified. So very, very impressive thing.
You can tell we're both proud of it by
a little bit.
That's great.